Hello everybody, I am Tiffany and today I'm doing a little bit of a special video. I wanted to try and do this type of video at the end of every year, and basically what I am doing, if you don't know by the title, is going through all the books that I read in 2020 and ranking them from my least favorite to my favorite. I definitely want to try and get in the habit of doing this at the end of every year. I think it's really cool to just be able to reflect back on everything that I've read. So I thought that'd be a really fun thing to do. As I looked back on 2020, I read 7 books. That's not including novellas or anything of that nature. So I will be ranking those 7 books from my least favorite to my absolute favorite of that year. But first, I have one quick announcement, just because I know you guys have been waiting forever on me to get back into the Vampire Diaries books. So guess what? I started reading them again! Yay! That is one of my goals for 2021, is to finish the Vampire Diaries series. So I have started and actually finished Shadow Souls. Just gotta record the review for you guys and I should have it up in no time. Not my favorite series by a long shot, but it is really fun to talk about with you guys and see your reactions and your thoughts on it as well. Let's go ahead and get into the list. There's 2 rules with this, by the way, that I wanted to establish. The first is that I'm ranking each book individually. So that doesn't mean that I'm counting one series as a whole. I'm ranking each individual book by how much I liked them as individual books. Number 2, just because a book is ranked my least favorite does not mean that I don't like the book. I'm pretty sure there will be times I read a book and I go, I hated this and it's my least favorite because I hated this. But at the same time too, if I've read a lot of great books in that year and didn't really find one that I disliked, the one ranked last doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but maybe I just didn't feel as strongly about it as I did the others. And one more thing, actually, really quickly. I read pretty fast and I record pretty fast. I take a long time to edit. There will be books in this list that you don't see reviews up for. I have them already recorded and set to edit. I just haven't finished editing them yet. I tried really hard to be a fast editor. I'm not. Let's get started on the list. Woo! Let's get started. Coming in at number 7 is a book that I haven't really talked about on this channel, but it was such a great experience for me last year, and I was really sad I didn't get to put up the review for it yet. This will be the first book that I put up as a review in 2021, and this book is called The Brightest Spell. You see it? Ooh. This is by Nupur Chowdhury. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. One, you may be wondering, Tiffany, why do you have an ebook? Because if you know me, I like my physical books. I don't like the ebooks as much. The Brightest Spell is a unique situation. Nupur had reached out to me on Goodreads to actually do a review. She had been reaching out to different reviewers. So I had the privilege of getting an e-copy of it and being able to read it and review it myself. Now, like I said, I haven't posted my video review of it yet. I did leave a review on Goodreads and I think on Amazon as well. So you can go check that out too for a couple of thoughts. Those are non-spoilery. I don't ever spoil in written reviews. But The Brightest Spell, it does come in at number 7 because just compared to the other books that I've read this year, it wasn't as strong of a book, but this was actually a really great surprise for me. It's a political thriller. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and I really ended up enjoying myself. So this isn't a situation where this book is ranked last because it sucks. It's actually really good, and I highly suggest if you are able to go check it out, you definitely should. I feel really honored that I got to review this for her and that someone asked me to. This is the first author that's ever done that, so that was a really cool experience for me. Go check out The Brightest Spell. Coming in at number 6 is Calamity by Brandon Sanderson. This is the finale of the Reckoner series, which I did finish, and I have the reviews up for all of them now, so I will leave a link into the description for each of those books. Calamity, Calamity, Calamity. I love the Reckoner series, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who is looking for a quick read. I think The Reckoners is great for that. Calamity is the finale. I would say 90% of this book was great for me, but but I will admit that ending did leave me very disappointed, which is why it's number 6 on the list. But it had a lot of incredible build-up, and I felt like it could have been such a good finale. It was so close, but it fell flat a little bit for me at the end. But like I said, 90% of the book was still pretty fantastic. It's hard when you read a series and the ending doesn't live up to what you want it to be. It's Brandon Sanderson too, and I love Mistborn by him, and that ending was perfect and beautiful. Because of that, I had high expectations, and it did fall a little flat for me. You may really love the ending. Just for me, I don't personally completely enjoy the ending, but you should give the Reckoner series a chance. It is a great series overall. Also, this cover is beautiful. This may be my favorite cover of 2020. Coming in at number 5 is another part of a series that I started last year. I don't have the reviews up for them yet, but I will be getting them up hopefully sometime within 2021. This book is A Dragonfly Amber, which is the second book in the Outlander series. Like I said, I haven't posted any Outlander reviews. I do have a couple reviews for some of the books recorded. They just need to be edited. And I also did watch the show along with the books, so I was able to do a compare and contrast, which is really awesome, and I was super excited to be able to do that. Dragonfly Amber is the second book in the series. It is a super good book. All of the Outlander books that I've read so far have been superb, and the TV show adaptation is excellent. The reason that this one comes in at number 5 for me is because it was kind of depressing. So it doesn't have as much of the joy a little bit, though Outlander is pretty dramatic. Still, this one was probably the gloomiest and hardest to get through out of the books that I've read so far because of how dreary it was. And it's a long book too, so when you have a dreary long book, it's a lot to take. But it is a really great book. I highly suggest you go read it. This just happens to fall at number 5. There were other books that I liked a little bit better than this one. Coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Steelheart. This is the first book in the Reckoner series. This was such a great premiere book. It hooked me from the prologue. The minute I read it, I thought this is reminiscent of The Boys. And I've said this time and time again. I said it in my review for Steelheart, which you can check out as well. But just the vibe of it overall is very reminiscent of The Boys if you've seen that show on Amazon. It is so great. It was captivating. It's super fast-paced. It's probably the most fast-paced out of all of them, I think. It just takes you for a ride. It's really great. This is such a great first book in a series. It's very powerful, and it'll definitely hook you. It's not too big, and like I mentioned, it is very fast-paced, so it makes the read fly by. Comes in at number 4 for me. Definitely very happy that I read this book. Coming in at number 3. Outlander. Look at that. The 2 beginning books follow each other. This is the book that started it all. I love Outlander. This first book caught me by surprise. The beginning was pretty slow. By the midpoint, I was completely enthralled. I was panicking. I was happy. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. It was crazy. It is so good. You're caught up in it before you even know it. I don't know if other people have had the same experience. At the beginning, I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but the next thing I know, I can't put the book down and I need to find out what happens. Like Pronto, even though it's huge, you go through so much. You go through so much in all of the Outlander books. This was a great start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the top 2. These are my top 2 favorite books that I read in 2020. Let's go ahead and find out who are the champions. Coming in at number 2 is Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Reckoner series, my favorite out of the series. I felt like the pacing was still pretty fast, was great. There was so much more character development, so much more world building. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. This book was pretty much almost perfection for me. These characters, they are so good. I know I said the third book kind of falls a little bit flat, but I do think you should check out the Reckoner series, at least for Firefight and Steelheart. Firefight is by far, in my opinion, the best book out of the series. Favorite in the Reckoner series. We have reached the number 1 spot for 2020. What book was it, huh? What book tops my list? Even though you've seen some that I haven't had reviews for. what topped Tiffany's list of 2020? The number one book that I read in 2020 for me personally was there you go, Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. This is the third book in the Outlander series, and it is by far the best out of them that I've read so far. I've only read up to the third book. I hope to continue the rest of the series. This book was perfection. It had everything I wanted. It had my romance. It had good times, bad times, the twists and turns. It made me go through the whole roller coaster of emotions, loop-de-loops, all of that. It was amazing. Hands down, this was my favorite. This wasn't even a contest. The other books are great. Just, the feels for this. And on top of it, I will give credit some to the show because the show adapted this book for me basically perfectly. I love Voyager so much. I know Outlander is a giant series. I'm excited to continue it. Didn't even realize how quickly I was reading it. I recorded the review for it recently actually, so I'm very excited when I'm actually able to post this one and talk about it with you guys. I'm so ready to talk about Outlander. Alright guys, those are all the books I read in 2020. I know, I basically just read 2 series this year. I'm hoping to do a lot better this year, have a lot more variety, hopefully finish Vampire Diaries. I set some goals for myself. Let's see if I can accomplish them. But that was really fun, and I definitely, like I said at the beginning of the video, want to do this every year just to reflect back on what I read, and it helps me set more goals for myself too. So much reading to do, but it makes me so excited to be able to do this. And thank you guys again for just sticking around and helping my channel grow a lot last year. We're at 600. Woo! And it really does touch me, and it makes me so happy when I see your comments and you guys suggest stuff. It feels great. I'm so excited to watch more movies with you guys and read more books with you guys and watch more TV shows and discuss them. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you do have any other book, movie, TV recommendations, anime if you want to, please leave them in the comments below. And if you want any updates on anything, please go to tiffanybooksanmovies.blogspot.com. It gives you updates on when I have new videos up, if I have any plans for anything. Also acting stuff too. It does update you on that because I am an actress as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day you're watching this. Let me know what your favorite books of 2020 were, and don't forget to be awesome. Goodbye!